Hi, welcome back to the bench. Yes, I've been away from the bench for a few weeks. If you follow my videos, one of my other hobbies is fishing. I've been down on the Jersey Shore doing some striped bass fishing. Caught a nice 33-inch bass. 26-inch, one was too short, one was too long. Those of you that fish know that there is a slot limit, and that's what you're allowed to keep. Only fish that are between 28 and 31 inches. So I had one was too short, one was too long, but I had a great time on the beach with my wife and daughter. It was just a great time. But again, I was away from the electronics. Happy to be back. I'm going to do a couple things tonight. First of all, I want to wish everybody out there a happy Mother's Day, because today is Sunday, is Mother's Day. And I want to wish my wife a happy Mother's Day and thank her for everything. Thank her for letting me be down here tonight and doing what I enjoy after a long day of putting up with me. So just to roll along, I'm going to do two things tonight. I'm going to do an update on the Philco 77 signal generator that I finally have working the way I want it to work, the way it's supposed to work. And I'm going to, like I said once before, the RCA Strato-World 3BX671, 3BX671 7-band tube radio. So that's what I'm going to be out working on tonight. We're going to do just a tear down and observations and what I think I'm going to need to do, what the radio looks like, and we'll get into that. So stand by. And we'll get right to this stuff now. Okay, as a follow-up to the Philco 77 signal generator, which I have here that I worked on, if you remember from a previous video, the sine wave coming out of it was very poor. I narrowed it down to some of the components and one of the tubes. So basically what I want to do is show you on the oscilloscope as I change bands and everything. If you look over here now, the sine wave looks pretty good on this. And again, as I change bands, again, I would have to I have a very symmetrical, it's not perfect, but I have a more symmetrical waveform now than I had before. And again, as I go through the bands, you can see that it's a symmetrical waveform. So that's what I was trying to accomplish with this. I've got it together now, and I just have to finish putting in all the screws. But some of the problem, I believe, was actually from the fact that I did not have this unit in the case. And that might have been one of the problems as well with the waveform. But now, as you can see, I'm getting a nice waveform. Again, not perfect, but it's much better than it was before. If you remember, if you go back to the video on the 77, I showed you some waveforms that were truly distorted and was not happy with it. Again, it took some work, but I got it together and it's working fine now. So this will be, what I'm happy about with this unit is it goes up to 110 megahertz, which I have other, well, let's swing around here. I've got this signal generator up here, B&K. It goes up to approximately 30. I've got this one here, it goes up to 60. I've got another one behind it that goes up to 110, but I don't feel it's as stable and accurate as this Philco. So I'm happy to have this added into my test equipment. again, I'm working on old radios, a little bit on the TV side, and this is what they worked on with this old equipment. So it served them well, and it's going to be serving me well also. So again, this was just the catch up and the final review on the Philco 77. And there's the waveform. So, all right, we'll get on to the rest of this evening's. Okay, and this is going to be the project for the next few sessions. I'm going to be going through this. This is the RCA Victor 3BX671. I'm going to just do a little survey on this tonight. Just go over it. Again, when I look for a radio to restore, especially something like this, it's leather. I'm not a leather worker, so I try to make sure the bulk of the stitching is all good on it. Electronics I can fix, but I'm not a leatherman, so I'm going to have to really play with that. There's a little damage up here on the top. You could probably see that right up in here. There's some damage. I'll have to figure out or learn what to do with that. It's very dirty. I'm going to have to clean it. The board up here with the map on it, very pretty map, giving you time zones. Very ornate, looks very good. Everything up here looks in good condition. The handle's not cracked. That's in good shape. Knobs are all here. That's another one. I don't like hunting for knobs when I'm doing a project. Control, the band switch is very tight. Not happy with that, but I got to get into that. And the dreaded dial cord is broken. So again, here's the dial. Nothing's moving. So that's going to be one of the projects I'm going to have to do is dig in and work on that dial cord. Let me turn it around. Okay, so the interior of the radio is very clean. Okay, very neat. The decals and everything are in good shape. The antenna is here that plugs in. It does have an antenna up in the lid, like the Transoceanic and the Hallicrafters. These are all clones of the Zenith Transoceanics. I do have, let's see, is this the schematic? Not sure what this is. All right, I actually have two of these. Nice. Okay, so here's the colorful little 7-band portable. This isn't the schematic. And again, this is the model 3BX671. I would love to get the 3BX672. The difference between the 671 and the 672 is the 671 had an alligator, faux alligator covering on it, and it looks dynamic. But again, I've been looking for one. There's one on eBay right now that's the exterior is not in good shape, and again, I'd rather wait until I find one that's going to work for me. All right, again, chassis is extremely clean, not something I'm used to. All the tubes are there. I'm going to have to see if the tubes are any good. What I want to do is I'm going to do a Shango right now, a Shango 66. And I'm going to plug this puppy in. Line cord's not in bad shape. It's not crusty, a little kinked up. A little WD-40 wipe on it will probably soften it up a little bit. So let me plug this into the Sencor PR57. This is a great piece of equipment. I just got to show you this, guys. Look, I love the dim bulb and the Variac, but I got to tell you, let me move things around a little bit here. this guy down here, the Sencor PR57, it's a great piece of equipment. Again, you can vary the power. You can monitor your current draw. Okay. You can actually look at the output. I usually leave it on current so when I can see when I turn it on what's going on with it. Okay. So that's on. And the radio hums. It hums. Obviously, it doesn't know the words. Is it? Yeah, I think it's going to need a lot of cleaning on the inside. All right, so the radio doesn't work, doesn't play. It's not completely dead, but it's not playing. So we got some work to do on it. I shut this off. I want to turn the power off now. First thing I need to do is pull the instructions out on how to get this out. I'm going to need the instructions for that because I've never taken one of these apart. It's the first one of these I've ever worked on, and I'm not sure how to get it out of there. So let me put you guys on hold. Let me get the instructions out, and we'll get this thing out of there together. Okay, like I always tell you guys out there, you always need to have your service data when you start working on a project, okay? I've got an RCA, this is from RCA, their service data, and I also have a Sam's PhotoFact folder on this same radio, okay? So, what we want to do is we want to find chassis removal. It's going to tell us how to get this chassis out of the radio. All right. All right, so I'm going to pause you again and try to go through this process. I got to swing things around, so I'm going to pause you. Okay, so the first step to get this out is it tells you to turn the tuning knob until the gang is fully closed. Well, the dial cord is broken, so I can't do that. What I need to do is I'm just going to reach in. I don't know if you can see me here if I'm on camera. I'm just going to reach in and turn it like this on the inside. Okay, that's fully done. Open the cabinet back, pull out the battery. Okay, there's no battery. I'm not using the battery. Remove, pull off type volume, tuning, band selector, and tone control knobs. So we got to go back. Gotta go back around to the front. Something's not right here. It's probably this right here. Okay, let's turn this around. Make sure you guys are still in. Bang the camera, as bad as everybody else. Okay. Volume control. Okay. Pull off the volume control. The tuning. There's no indicators on these, so it doesn't really matter. I want to try to keep them oriented on my desk for now until I know how they go. Okay. Bass is on the bottom, trebles on the top. Bass is on the bottom. dribbles on the top. And somebody had it, oh, here it is. Got to keep track of all of these little parts as you're taking it out. Okay. Jeez Louise. Okay. Ooh, boy, I'll tell you. You can see they have a metal band around the plastic, which is, get a little light here, metal band, but as I pulled it out, the metal band came off, so I'm going to have to get that back down on there. There we go. That keeps everything together. All right. All right, I got that off. Swing it back around. Now it's remove the 4 machine screws holding the chassis to the case. The 4 machine screws holding the chassis to the case. Yeah, okay. Let me see if I can find them. Okay, so the 4 machine screws, there's 1, 2, and then 3 and 4. It's going to be fun. Yep, I got to keep everything together. I got 1 out. These are not going to be fun to get back in either. I can't even see in here. Excuse my head if I'm in there. Most guys nowadays would probably go in there with an electric screwdriver, but I don't have an electric screwdriver, so I can't go in there with one. Come out pretty easy. I just like to know how easy they are going to be go back in again. I've already disconnected the antenna. That was the next step, was to disconnect the antenna, which I've done. One more screw, and hopefully this just slides right on out. Yeah, right. I have a better chance. I don't know what the heck is holding this in here at this point. It says, pull the chassis out and simultaneously slightly downward to enable the dial pointing mechanism to clear the top. All right, I'll get this out of the way here. Yeah, it's a. Oh, they didn't talk about this one. I'm doing this live for you guys tonight. Slightly down. it doesn't want to seem to. Man, wow, look at that. Comes right out, yeah, right. I won't, when I get this thing done, I'm not going to put it on camera getting it back in, because I have a feeling that there might be a little cursing going on. All right, let's see, where am I hung up here? Let's get this out of here now. Okay, that plate came off. This little doohickey came out. Oh, yes. Guys were geniuses that made this. I think I'm going to be using a little glue to hold all this stuff together when I put it back in. All right. Not bad. Let me put this off to the side. I'll get the case out of the way. I like to keep things together so I know where they go. And one of these little things didn't come out, so I'm going to have to work on that. I'll put the case off to the side for now. Let's bring the chassis in. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Let me just make sure you're in the shot here. All right. That's the first time I've ever taken one of these Strato-World radios from RCA apart. Always liked the look of it, but again, it's actually a clone of the Transoceanic. I don't know what cord is broken here, but yeah, this cord is broken. Hopefully I can find a dial stringing mechanism, how this thing goes, because this is tight. It's going to have to all be lubed up. That'll probably help it go a lot easier. So let's swing this around. All right. All right, how do I get into this baby? Okay. All right, just looking at this. My nut drivers, my Exolite nut drivers, I've had these for years. I never know what size it is. I always got to do a fit and see if it works. There we go. Put the handle on it. And just start taking the screws out. Doesn't tell you how to do that, does it? No. Doesn't say anything about doing this, but we're going to have to I know. I'm probably taking off the wrong screws. But you know what? These are great little nut drivers. Got the whole set. Obviously, they're not metric, but they are really nice for working on this older gear. Okay, and as the last screw comes out, yeah, I paused you guys. There's so many screws in here. I didn't figure you needed to watch me mess around with all of them. Okay. I have to see where to pick this up from. Oof. Okay, very nice. Looks to be all original in here. Trying to get the light where you can see better. Yeah, that's a little bit better. You can see almost the whole thing like this. Yeah. This is going to go, selenium rectifier is going to be replaced with a silicone diode automatically. I'm just going to take this out. I don't leave them in. A lot of guys leave them in and just use the one as a binding post. I take this out, use the same hole that this screw was in, put a binding post in, and off we go. This way there's no problems with it. We've got electrolytic sand resistor here. Interesting. This little sticker over here says if you have a low line voltage, you break this seal and you flip the switch. That'll allow you to run it on a lower line voltage, which we don't have to worry about because the line voltage here, what do we got? We're running right now. I could tell you, I got the RCA power line monitor there, and I'm at 130 volts, just a hair over 130 volts. So, yeah, that's why another reason why I use the PR57. These older radios, they tell you to do your testing on 115, 110, or 117 volts. I can dial it right in, and I'm good to go, regardless of what the line voltage is. And then I can make my adjustments with resistors or whatever when I replace the selenium, bring the voltage where it needs to be, even with the current. I run probably between 125 to 130 on my line voltage. So, all right, that looks pretty good. I gotta watch these coils down here. I break those, I shoot myself. There's no replacing them, and that goes along with these little wires too. I'm gonna take you out of the cradle for a minute here. Okay, so these are pretty close to the bottom. Wow. I break those, I'm in trouble. The little fine wires and everything. Got to be careful there. Got all these little bumblebee caps. Again, the radio's not playing, so not sure where to go, but I don't think this is a high hour set. It looks like we got a little deterioration around the edging here. I'm going to have to see what that's all about. This was looked like a rubber gasket. That's not rubber anymore. It's hard as a rock. Have to do some cleaning on it. Okay, I think that might be it for tonight. That's, I think this is a virgin set. Nothing looks like it's ever been changed. We've got the electrolytic cap up in here, buried inside here. So more than likely, let me set this set down again. Let me put this back up in the holder. Okay, I'll set this down. I gotta watch this doesn't get underneath and break anything. Don't want to damage anything. Okay, what I'm going to try to do is get this cap off. I'll heat it. I'll get the cap off, and then I will. I'll probably do what I did on the. You can't even see what I'm talking about here. All right, let me get you in this. Okay, this black cap. I'll take this off. I'll heat it. I'll get it off, and then I'll just cut the cap from the top, clean it out, and put my caps in the top like I did on the TW 1000. I'll have to get in here and boy, they really got this together. Get in here and clean all the pots and everything. You got a bass and a treble control. Again, not sure. Not sure why the line cord doesn't seem broken. It seems like it came off the drum. Now, it's very possible that it did come off the drum because this drum is extremely tight. It moves. The dial indicator moves when I do this. But it is tight. And let me swing this baby around again. Okay. So here is your, what is it? Okay. This is the band selector. God, these are tight. Again, this is very tight as well. Needs a little help, a little oil on the not oil, but grease. All right, I think that's going to be it, guys. And I think what I'm going to do is, just to give you a heads up, what I'm going to do here is I might get a piece of something, something stiff and screw it through here so that I don't damage these coils. Again, you can't see what I'm talking about here. In other words, I'll just take a piece of, not plywood, but I've got some materials, plastic or whatever, and I'll just put it across here, put a couple screws in it, just so that I don't hit these coils. All right. So I'm putting the game plan together. Radio is in excellent condition. Like I said, it's a virgin. This radio has never been messed with, from what I can see. Let me bring it around a little bit. There's not many places I can grab this. I don't want to do any damage to it. So you got all original caps. The Bumblebee caps, these. I've had these in other radios too. It's like a ceramic coating. They're always bad. Don't forget, this radio is another radio that's either 70 or close to 70 years old. Again, electrolytics. That looks like the only other electrolytic cap that's in here is this one here. Yep. Tucked away. All right. That's going to be it, guys. Thanks for stopping by. I'll be working on this throughout the week. We'll catch you up next Sunday. Maybe not next Sunday, but we'll catch you up on this. This is where we're at. We're just doing a overview, see what approximately I need to do. All right. Thanks for stopping by.